Hi everyone, Bear from Bear Reads Books. Welcome back to my channel. Time for another book review. Yay! I don't know why I did that. I've never done that before. Anyway, time for another book review. Yay! And this one comes with a little story because back in October of 2018, I read Ali Smith's Autumn, and if you don't know what Ali Smith's Autumn is, it's the first in her seasonal series of 4 books: Autumn, Winter, Spring, Summer, and Summer is released this year. And I thought in preparation for that being released, I really should crack on and read all 3 and then the 4th. And I thought that I should reread Autumn just to try and compact the timeline a bit, as I've been talking about constantly, and try and refresh my memory. What I did was I tried to remember as much as I could about Ali Smith's Autumn novel when I read it in 2018. And I sat down and I could not, for the life of me, remember a single thing. I couldn't remember a character, a plot point, a setting. Oh, I knew the setting. I knew it was the UK in a Brexit and post-Brexit world. I knew it was that. But I couldn't remember anything about the plot. Not a single solitary thing. And I was embarrassed. So I went back to Goodreads, and I'm going to do this now as a lesson to you all and to myself to read more carefully. I don't know what I was doing. In October 2018, I'd already given up drinking, so I can't really blame it on being drunk. But here's my review. Let me just grab it for you. Okay, so here's my review from November the 1st, 2018, Ali Smith's Autumn. I gave it 4 stars, and this is what I said back then. Mesmerising read. For a while I was not sure what I was reading and had trouble with the dreamy writing style. Once I sorted that out, it was a pure delight. Yes, it was. Couldn't remember a single thing. My lord. Anyway, my newest review says, I agree with my previous review. Because I did find it mesmerising and wonderful, and sometimes difficult to realise what was going on. But at least now I know what the story is. I remember what the story is. So it is in a immediately post-EU referendum. And the main character and her mother, it flits backwards and forwards from when the main character was a child and she meets her next door neighbour Daniel, who ends up being her proxy babysitter. And over the years they become friends. They talk about what they read, what they're thinking about, what they think about the world, what they think about each other and the people around them, and they become very, very close friends. And in that respect, that description of relationships and how people feel about it is just magnificent. In this immediacy of a Brexit situation, of a Brexit Britain. So all of the hope that was part of the discussion around should we leave or should we stay, and then all of the desperation about once the vote was revealed as a leave vote. This novel certainly sits on the Remain side of the political ledger, and it's coming at the argument from a certain angle. But besides that, the picture of a Brexit Britain is a pretty bleak one, where people are not kind to each other, where people are genuinely concerned about levels of immigration and about the availability of jobs and the availability of housing and good schools. And on top of that, everyone's interaction with government, like the few times that the main character goes to the post office to get a passport, for instance, and the difficulty she has in submitting a form, being told that the photo was incorrect twice, being told the form wasn't filled out correctly, or being pushed to decide on where she was going when she got the passport. I'm not going anywhere, I'm just getting a passport. So it is a Britain very much devoid of hope. And in the middle of this is these lovely relationships between, there's this lovely relationship between Elizabeth and Daniel, and it begins with Daniel believing he's dead because he dreamily remembers him looking differently, or he thinks he's turned into a younger man, so this must be heaven, so it must be dead. And maybe it is. I mean, a large part of the book is Daniel in hospital at the very end of his life, and it's Elizabeth coming to visit him regularly, and there's also a lot of stuff in here about memory and perception, our memory of things past, our perception of our place in that past, and the things we've done right and wrong, and these checks and balances. And when we butt up against bureaucracy in the modern world and their checks and balances, and then we think about our past and all the checks and balances we've made in our lives to get to this point. There's a lot of that kind of discussion in the book, and that kind of personal reflection by the characters in the book who don't feel that they have a place in a modern Britain, so end up largely returning to the place of memory and the past. And it does flip between present and past quite regularly, so it is a book, although quite simply put and simply written, it's not complex in any way. It's this movement of time, the shifting of time, and the linked images across time that sometimes make the book a little complex to understand what's going on. There's this entire section talking about Christine Keeler and was it called the Profumo affair, which was a sex scandal in British Parliament where I don't even know the details myself, where Christine Keeler was having an affair with an MP who was also embroiled with Russian spies and things like that. So there's this whole section in there about that it took me a long time to work out exactly what point this had in the story. As well, there's this whole section about an artist that Elizabeth is researching for her dissertation or a PhD, and I was unclear for a very long time whether this artist had some sort of connection to Daniel, to her friend Daniel. Daniel is the one that introduced Elizabeth, to this art where they used to play a game remembering a piece of art. He would remember a piece of art and describe it to her, and then who's never seen this piece of art, and then she would describe back to him what she thought it was about, based on Daniel's description. It was a wonderful game that they used to play, but it conjured up memories for me in that maybe Daniel has a real memory of this photograph, of this painting, and then what's his relationship with this artist that Elizabeth is researching for a PhD. So there's a lot of these entanglements through time that happen in the book. I'm not entirely sure, I haven't read anything about how spring, winter and summer play out. I don't think it's the same. I don't know if it's the same characters that keep going. I honestly don't know. Now that I've spoken about this book to camera or to other people, I'm guessing I'm actually going to remember what it's about. But I just found it astounding that I went to reread a book because I couldn't remember a single thing about it. I don't know whether that's ever happened to you. I'd love to hear your stories down below. If there was a book you've read in the past that you now can't remember a single thing about. It's a memorable book. This book, Autumn by Ali Spring. Autumn by Ali Smith. This is a memorable, beautiful, important book that places real people in this turbulent time that is Britain right now. And I feel bad for not remembering it, but now I will because I've spoken to you. Please read it. If you haven't read it, please read it. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have read it before, but also I'd like to hear your stories of completely forgetting books that are meant to be really important and good. That's it. I do have some more videos to come, more reviews to come as well. So enjoy the rest of your day, everyone, wherever you may be, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.